Well, if you watched baseball in the 1970s or 80s, you know our next guest very well. A six-time All-Star, a World Series MVP, a mainstay for the Los Angeles Dodgers, the Penguin, Ron Cey. Cey worked for the Dodgers after his playing days were done in 1987, and now he's launching a media career full-time. So here's our conversation, talking baseball with the Penguin.
Is this Ron Cey kind of coming out of retirement here and hitting the media world by storm?
I'm not exactly sure, Mark. I have delved into a couple things late in life. The podcast is something that I got involved with here about 6-8 months ago. It took a couple of years to kind of put it together. We were kind of just fiddling around with it. But it's more of an eclectic show. We throw in some sports there. We have sports people on, baseball players, announcers, things like that. But I want it to be a pretty diversified group. I want people of color. I want men, women. I want all kinds of things on there. I want to expand that, see where it goes. And launching my book, Penguin Power, just came out on the 13th. I did my first book signing for Triumph Books at Diesel Bookstore in Santa Monica, Brentwood last night. I had fun with that. So the book is available on Amazon. The pre-orders are there. So excited to be doing that. But it is kind of a strange change of pace here, delving into these two things at the age of 75. So it's brand new territory for me, and it's kind of exciting.
Well, I grew up watching you play for the Dodgers, and you were always so stoic and, kind of you're always dialed in. I think my old man used to say, watch how that guy plays. It's no nonsense, gets the job done. So there's like an eclectic side here where you always kind of thinking about life off the field and different interests like that.
As a matter of fact, we've had some recent shows here where we've gotten some more women on the show. I had Corey Close, the UCLA women's basketball coach, on here a few weeks ago. And a couple of days ago, I was fortunate enough to have Billie Jean King on after she returned from the French Open in Paris. So touching base with that a little bit, it was exciting to be able to get Billie Jean on, and she was a great interview and had a lot of fun with that. But when in my playing days, I was focused. I came to play every single day. And funny thing about it, looks maybe a one thing, but I had a little boy racing around me inside all the time, and I was enjoying this without maybe a party display like they have today going on, where they celebrate everything.
Yeah, what do you think about that? Are you a fan of the bat flip and all the dancing? Like, what would have happened if you would have pointed at Steve Garvey in the dugout and put on some like face goggles or whatever the guys are doing today?
Oh, I think that I would have enjoyed, the fact that we could have opened up a little bit. We kind of saved our celebrations. We were kind of nonchalant. We did get into the high fives back in the late 70s and that stuff. But that was kind of the extent of it. Players that you played against, especially the pitchers, kind of resentful when you started celebrating. And I used to like to celebrate, in the moment, my own way. But the party began after the game in the clubhouse when we won, or when we came off the field and everybody congratulates each other. But today's game is much different. I don't mind it so much. It's a game of entertainment. We all know that, but their display and their celebrity is now part of it. And I'm not so sure that I care much for all of the sports all-star games. The basketball game, the games are up in the high 100s. There's no defense. It's a game of entertainment. They're heaving up half-court shots. They're doing alley-up ducks. They're in football now. You have a flag football game. I'm not in favor of that. I mean, that doesn't seem like I should be rewarded to play in a flag football game. And in the baseball all-star game last couple of years now, they've had their players mic'd up on the field. That's dangerous. And, look, if this is the way that you're going to go, we have to understand it. But it's not a competitive game anymore. It's just for entertainment.
Well, the competition on the field, we're having a lot of fun out here in Arizona. I don't know how people are feeling about the Dodgers, but we're kind of enjoying them being young and trying to figure it out. And the Diamondbacks have been on fire until 2 straight losses here against the Phillies. How much are you watching the NL West from your vantage point, and how do you feel about the Dodgers' chances of catching the D-backs this year?
Well, first of all, I no longer work for the Los Angeles Dodgers. I had a 40-year stint there, and I stepped down a little over a year ago. Time to move on. But I do still follow it. I don't follow it as closely. I don't watch many games. I look at the results. And my preseason pick for the NL West was San Diego. I thought San Diego did a terrific job of bolstering their club on all levels, and the way that they got hot at the end of the season, they got on fire at the right time. Was the playoffs, but the thing that was interesting between last year, between the Dodgers got off such a big lead that they coasted in for the second half, and everybody knew that they were going to win. The Padres were completely out of it, but they weren't out of the wild card race. And so they had something to play for the whole season. The Dodgers did not. And so when it got to playoff time, the Padres were battle ready, and they had the momentum, and they took care of business. And I thought that the Dodgers lost a lot of players, a lot of key players over the season. They were going to bring in a lot of new people. I think offensively, from that standpoint, the Dodgers have had a good offensive club, but they don't scare me. And their pitching, and there was an article in the paper or whatever it was that I looked at briefly, saying, is this the worst pitching the Dodgers have had in their history? I didn't get into it, but obviously, they're not playing as well. And in the beginning of the season, they were talking about, could this be the Dodgers' best team ever for some reason? It's all hype. Please go out and play like it. Let's talk about it after the fact. I am surprised, pleasantly surprised by the Diamondbacks' performance. They have really played well. They are, what are they, 1 or 2 games in front at this point?
Yeah, two after last night, lost to the Phillies. But yeah.
Right. So, the Dodgers, they have, their pitching continues to struggle. They're not pitching like they used to. So I'm really surprised that San Diego hasn't played better. I really did think that they would be probably the one to challenge Atlanta for the National League Championship. When I look over in the Central, it doesn't scare me much. The Cardinals, for some reason, have just gone to the bottom, and they have got such a talented group of people over there. Never give up on them, but they've lost like 13 of 17 that I just read. So Nolan Arenado even said that, I don't know if this is just a thing to come and pass. We haven't played good baseball all year long. So I don't know how deep that goes, but there's still a second half to play. But, the Diamondbacks, you should be happy. They should be really pleased with their playing. I think they're a surprise.
What does it take to win a championship, and what was it like being a champion in Los Angeles while you were playing?
Well, we had a lot of history and tradition to follow. And I think we did a really good job of our 10-year period here. We had the longest running, most successful infield in Major League history. That's a fact. We were in 4 World Series. We were world champions. We had MVPs. We had World Series MVPs. We had every member of our infield a multiple-time All-Star. And as a matter of fact, the 81 team we had that won the World Championship, the only guy that was not an all-star on the entire team was Steve Yeager. Sorry, Steve. But that's how talented we were. And when you throw the infield, the fundamental parts of it are together. We're going to play every year. We destroyed the farm system, by the way, for 10 years. There wasn't a Dodger infielder in the farm system. Made it to the major leagues as a Dodger. He had to go someplace else to do it. That being a good and bad part, we had Dusty Baker, Rick Monday, and Reggie Smith, and all those guys are all-star caliber players. And it was just a really good group of people who understood the challenges and responsibilities, and we were able to get it done. And we were also the first team in Major League history that drew 3 million people. We won. We were the number one attraction in baseball at home through our career, and we even led the National League in attendance on the road, which is a double, and not too many teams get to that. So it was a real thrilling time for us, and I want to thank the fans for that, and they do live in the house that we built.
All right, and when people come up to you and see you on the street or see you at the book signing, do they call you Penguin? How many times have you told the Penguin story of how you got the nickname?
Many, many, many times. And I got it in college at Washington State University. Chuck Wheaton, coach there, coined me the Penguin. He didn't refer to me as the Penguin much, but it was kind of the nickname. I had a high school nickname from football called Scooter. And then when I went to college, I obtained the nickname of the Penguin. And then when I signed professionally and started playing, Tom Lasorda started calling me the Penguin, and he was taking all the credit for it. And I kept reminding him that no, you're not the originator here. You need to step aside. But he would still take credit anyway. And so I finally just let it go because he was his own person. Yeah.
Well, and a star was born. So just tell us real quick when we can hear the show, where we can
Sure.
read the book, and is there potentially a signing out here in Arizona, say when the Dodgers come to town in August?
Thank you. I'm definitely going to look into that possibility. Triumph Books, who carry my book, are the ones that are setting up some of these, and some of these private signings are different signings that I might get involved with. Certainly, there's a possibility. Since it is the first couple days of launch, we're still organizing things. So I would look forward to coming over and do that. As far as where we are broadcast from, we do our tapings and broadcasts from CRN Talk Radio, and we are on Spotify, Amazon, Apple, Roku. You can pick us up all there. The video is Roku, and just getting started with that. We have our live show at 11 a.m. on Saturdays Pacific Standard Time, and we've gotten into a brand new world. I enjoy doing the podcasts, but the business side of it is another venture by itself. It's testing. It's very trying.
Well, keep hammering out, keep sawing wood. We need you to kind of lead the way here. Ron Cey, the baseball legend, here joining us on the Extra Point. And hey, how about this? Come out here for the book signing. We'll have you sit right here. We'll talk a little more baseball. We have a couple Dodger fans in here. We've been trying to, make Diamondback fans, but they would be absolutely thrilled to meet Ron Cey. So come on out here to Arizona and join us here live in studio.
I'd love to do that, Mark. Thanks so much for having me on.
All right, thanks.
The Extra Point Podcast is a production of 3TV, CBS 5, and azfamily.com in Phoenix, Arizona.